With the addition of the Relic rework and the insanely overpowered Relic, I thought it would be a good idea to challenge the War Machine, the previous best tower in the game, to see if it is still as dominant as it was, because the Relic has insane stats and overall is a bit better in some circumstances. That's why I'm going to be covering both towers today and seeing if the Relic is actually better than the War Machine. So let's get right into it. First of all, the Relic is considerably cheaper than the War Machine, costing only 425 gold or cash to place down. The upgrades are relatively cheap as well for the bandits and the wardens, but the most expensive upgrade of them all is the last one, costing 1 million coins. It used to be 300,000, but now that the rework came out, it is 1 million, and I think it is worth it because the unit that the last upgrade spawns it gives you a Seraph, which has 7,250 HP and then like almost 5,000 DPS. And then it gives you an Overseer Prime with 180,000 HP and basically a ton of damage that isn't totaled up to its main attack and doesn't even really show you either. And it also has an ability where you can spawn 4 Seraphs, 3 Wardens, and an Overseer with the original mechanic, which is pretty cool, and it just basically runs right towards them. The Overseer also has this Laser Beam, which does a combined total of 250,000 damage per Laser Beam. It doesn't happen very often. When it does, it's very devastating for the boss. They're really good at taking down bosses, especially because it targets the strongest enemy. And another amazing ability this thing has, it has like basically a Spirit Bomb or Fireball that it can throw, which is insanely overpowered as well. Up next, we have the War Machine. The War Machine is insanely expensive to place, 19,000 cash to place. The upgrades are relatively expensive compared to the Relic's base upgrades before the last upgrade. The top half is really good if you want a lot of DPS and really maximize the spawn rate on this tower. It's really, really awesome. The HP isn't too great and the damage isn't like insane, but you can spawn a lot of them in like a relatively short amount of time. Alright, bottom path is what we want to see here, because the bottom path is, well, it's unlike anything you've ever seen, because it has a bunch of special abilities. As soon as you get to the 3rd level bottom path, you get 75,000 HP and 4,000 damage, around 4,000 damage. And then you also get an ability where he does flamethrowers, and it also ignores flame resistance. It doesn't tell you there, but it actually does. It also has 10% collision resistance, which basically just gives it 10% more of its a regular HP if the enemy does not have collision resistance as well. The 4th level on the War Machine has 15% collision resistance and more than 100,000 HP and almost around 7,000 damage. This thing is absolutely insane, but the main level is the last level. This one gives you 10,000 damage, around 150,000 HP, and it also gives you additional weapons such as the rocket launchers, the railguns, the stomp, and the punch, which does not total up into that 10,000 damage. So that 10,000 damage is only the flamethrower, and then the other weapons are just like stacked on top and not displayed in the description, kind of like the helicopter. But the one thing that sets it aside from the Relic is its ability to stomp and stun, as well as completely launch enemies in the opposite direction. So you can basically solo endless if you have, let's say, XWM and War Machine. You can just place down War Machine at the end, and it'll continuously just keep punching the Void Apex Predator back and back and back and back, and you'll basically never be able to get to your tower. So that's probably the one thing it has over the Relic. But the Relic can actually solo endless, like completely. If you have 4 people and 12 relics, it can completely solo the entire game mode, which is insane. But John did release a statement recently that he said he was going to nerf the Relic, so it kind of means that the War Machine is going to be on top once again, because War Machine is not going to get nerfed because it's pretty stable right now, and you have to pay like $50 to get it if you're not grinding like 12 hours of your life. So that makes it a much more stable choice in my opinion, as well as the just the ability of being able to knock things back. Sure, the Relic has an amazing ability of it being able to do all these different things, and the Seraphs are especially insane because they can stack and they have a pretty decent range. But overall, I think that the War Machine is not better than the Relic. The Relic is much better than the War Machine, but just the fact that it's going to get nerfed, I think the War Machine is going to be better overall. But to answer your question in this video, yes, the Relic is better than War. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely subscribe.